Hello friends, welcome to the next part of this JavaScript lecture series. So in this lecture we are going to discuss our new concept that is called as arrays. In the last lecture we have discussed the concept of objects. So in this lecture we'll first take a look at what is the meaning of array and how JavaScript uses the arrays and what are the properties and methods that are associated with the arrays. And then at last we'll compare when do we have to use arrays and when do we have to use objects. So there will be a basic differentiation between arrays and objects. Okay, so before starting the coding part, first let us take a look at the basic introduction of JavaScript arrays. So as per the formal definition, JavaScript arrays are used to store multiple values in a single variable. Okay, this is very similar to the definition of objects that we have discussed in the last lecture. So we'll take a very detailed look that how JavaScript arrays are different from the objects. Okay, so first I am continuing with the arrays part. Suppose if I say I have a collection called as cars, and these cars may suppose I am containing, say first one I have is say Maruti, and say I have Ford, I have Toyota, and so on. Okay, so I want to store these multiple values within a single variable. Okay, so for this type of work we use arrays. So as per the definition, an array is a special variable which can hold multiple values at a time. Okay, as we know, we have studied about the variables in JavaScript. So array is also a special kind of variable. Why it is called a special variable? Because it can hold multiple values at a same time. Okay, so if I say I have to make a collection of these cars in a variable, so I'll declare something like where, say variable name is cars equals, and then bracket, and then I will say first variable value is say Maruti, second value that I want to store is say Ford, third value I want to store is say Toyota, and so on. Okay, and then we'll put a semicolon at the end. Okay, so what is the basic advantage of it? Suppose if we do not use the concept of this arrays, then I'll have to use multiple variables to declare it, something like say where car 1 equal to say Maruti, similarly where car 2 equals second car name, where car 3 equals to and something. And suppose I have a collection of, say I want to create a list of say 100 cars. Okay, so in such case I'll have to declare 100 variables differently, car 1, car 2, car 3, and car up to 100. So in such type of situations, arrays are very useful for our programming. Okay, so the solution for this type of problems is arrays. Next is how to create the array. As similar as the objects, arrays can be created using two methods or using two ways. First one is called as the literal way. Okay, and second one is using new keyword. So we can use the literals and we can use the new keywords to declare an array. Okay, now let us take a look at the first way. suppose I have to declare an array using literals or the literal way. So it is one of the easiest way to declare arrays in JavaScript, and it is something like where, then when we have to define the array name, okay, and then equals, then we'll have to maintain the list of items, say item 1, item 2, and so on, and then at the end we put a semicolon. Okay, just like we have declared the array of cars here, this. Okay, so this is the literal way of declaring the arrays in JavaScript. Okay, second way, using the keyword new. So if I have to use the new keyword, then I'll declare JavaScript variable something like where, then I will say array name, then equals, then I'll write the new keyword, then I'll write a keyword named as array, okay, and then the collection of items. So item 1, item 2, and so on, and then we'll put a semicolon. So if I declare the same collection of cars using the keyword new, I'll write it as where cars equals new array, then my collection, that is first one was Maruti, then I'll say Ford, then I'll say Toyota, and at last I'll put a semicolon. Now the question is, which way is better? Is it the literal or new? So I would suggest that if you are doing the programming, it is always better to use literals way. Why? Because for the simplicity, readability, and execution speed, okay, all these properties are well maintained in the literals definition. So it is always better to use literals way of declaring the arrays in JavaScript. Okay, so I am continuing with the literals way. So if I have to declare the literal way in JavaScript, then I can use the variable cars like this, or we can use another way of writing the same code, that is where say cars equals, then I'll say bracket, and to make it more readable and clean coding, I'll write say my first item Maruti, then I'll put a comma, then at the next line I'll say Ford, double quotes, comma, then I'll say Toyota, double quotes, and then I'll close the bracket, and then I'll put a semicolon. So this is also a literal way of writing the arrays in JavaScript. Okay, so this is how we declare arrays in the JavaScript. Now the second point is how to access the elements that we are declaring inside JavaScript array. So to access the elements, we use, or JavaScript uses, index numbers. Okay, so suppose I have to access the first element of cars array, so I'll write say where car 1 equal, then I'll write the array name, that is cars, and its first index. Okay, so point to be noted here is, in the arrays the index always starts at 0. Okay. So 0 is the first value, second value may be, so 0 is the first value, second is 1, then 2, and then so on. Okay. And suppose if I want to change the array element, if you say that cars array contains Maruti at the 0 index, I want to change its value to say new value BMW. So I'll simply write cars, that is array name, index number denotes the variable which I want to access, index value. So car 0 denotes Maruti, and I want to update its value with the value, new value, say BMW. Okay, so this value will be overwritten by the new value, that is BMW. So this is how we can access the array elements, and we can also change the values of the array. Okay, now if somebody says how to access full array, I want to say I want to access the full array within a single line of code. Okay, then I'll simply say document. Suppose I want to print the complete array. So document dot write, and simply use the array name. It will automatically fetch all the values, that is BMW, then Ford, then Toyota, and then it will print it. Okay. So this is how arrays are declared and arrays elements are accessed. We can change the value, we can access the full arrays. Okay. Now some tutorials or books also suggest that arrays are the objects that we have declared in the last lecture. So arrays are objects. Why it is called? It is so called because in JavaScript arrays are spatial type of objects. Spatial type of objects. Because if we use type of operator, suppose if I say I want to print type of, and I say type of my array name, type of cars, then it will actually return an object. Okay, but this is a quite confusion, that why, if you are declaring an array, then why it is treating it as an object. So to overcome this, the JavaScript specification ES5, that is ECMAScript 5, have given us a way by which we can check. So to check it, we can use the method which is called as array dot is array. Okay, we can use something like this. Okay, so if I want to check whether my car is an array or not, so I'll write it, that is array dot is array, and then I'll write my array name, and if it returns true, then this object car is actually contains the properties of array. Okay, and you can also do the same work with the help of instance of operator. Okay, so I can also check it like cars instance of, and I'll say array, and I'll put a semicolon. If this returns true, then it means my cars object is also contains the properties of arrays. Okay, so now let us take a look. What is the basic difference between an array and object? Arrays and objects. So as we have discussed, let us say I have to declare the array of say if I say cars, so I'll declare it something like this. As I've said, I'll take one value and so on. And we have also declared that these values are automatically indexed using index numbers, that is 0, 1, 2. So in arrays, these index numbers, these index values are actually denoted automatically by number. Okay, as per the definition of array. But if we talk about the objects, then recall the example that we have discussed in the last lecture, that is where person, and that person contains certain property, that is name, property name and its value, and so on. So if I say person equals first name and I say ABCD, then you can see that in objects our values in indexes are actually referred by the strings or the user defined names. Okay, whereas in the case of arrays these are numbers, but in the cases of objects these are actually name value pairs. So if I have to access the first value, I'll write person dot first name, then I can access its properties, its values. But in the case of arrays, I'll simply write cars and the index numbers. Okay, so this is actually the basic difference between arrays and objects. So if you have to declare the collection of variables and you want to access them automatically using the numbers, and you do not want to keep the name value pairs, then you can use arrays, otherwise you can use objects. Okay, now coming to my programming part. Suppose I have to declare an array of cars. Then this collection of cars, I am taking some random values, semicolon. Okay, and I want to access, that is I'll say document dot write, and I said cars, and I want to access the first element. So when I refresh my page, you can see it is printing the first element, that is indexed by value 0, that is Maruti. Now suppose before printing, if I say cars at 0 index contains the new value, say BMW. Now if I change, or if I refresh, you can see initially the first index value was Maruti, but as I changed the value and converted it into BMW, and now if I am accessing it, it is printing BMW. Okay. Now if you say you have to access the full array, so instead of mentioning the index number here, you can simply write say cars. Okay, and if now I have refreshed the page, you can see BMW, then Ford, then Toyota. So it is actually referring the complete array variables. Okay, so this is how we access the full array. If I want to check the length of this array, so we have a property that will say cars dot length, that is array name dot length. This array name dot length will print the length of the array. So we have 0, 1, 2. So we have 3 elements, so it is printing 3. Now next is using this. Suppose if I say I want to access the first element, that we know to access the first element we have to write this cars at 0 index, and suppose I want to access the last index. This array is containing so much of values, so instead of maintaining the record, we can simply use I want to access cars, and inside the cars what I need to do, this cars dot length, that is whatever is the car length of the car, and then -1. Why -1? Because if you see, if I'm printing the cars.length, it is printing the value 3, that is number, total numbers. So index numbers will be 0, 1 and 2. So the last index is one value lesser than the total length. So I am accessing the total length minus 1. Okay. Then if I print it, you can see it is printing Toyota. So this is how we can access the last array element. Okay. It has so many methods that you can use. That is, if I say cars dot sort, so what I have to do, I have to write cars dot sort, and you can see it is printing BMW, then Ford, then Toyota. Because this Maruti is replaced by the BMW, so as per the character sequence, B comes first, so it is referring BMW, then F, then T, and then so on. So it is automatically sorting. These all are the inbuilt properties and methods that are associated with the array. So you can, what you can do, you can simply write cars dot, and you can see there are so many values that you can use, and then that you can access. Suppose I want to add one more value to this array. I'll say cars dot push, and then I want to access the cars variable. If I want to print it, you can see it is printing Maruti, then Ford, then Toyota, then BMW, and then so on and so forth. Okay, so this is how you can access the arrays. This is how you can print the arrays. This is how you can push the new values into the arrays, and you can do so many things. Okay, now if somebody says, okay, I want to print all the elements in the array, but this time I want to use the loop. Okay, so how can you use the loops for the arrays? You can simply write, suppose if I say where I, and now I say for I equals 0, I less than cars dot length, that is the array dot length, and then I say I plus plus. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm starting with from the first 0th index of the array, and I want to go to the cars dot length, that is the total array length. Okay, and then what I want to do, I want to print document dot write, and I want to access cars array values at index 0, plus I want to concatenate it with the line break, that is line break, so that each value gets printed into the new line. Okay, so for time being I am making it as a comment, and I want to execute this array. So you can see it is first printing Maruti, that is the first element, then second element, then Toyota, and as I have pushed new element BMW, so it is automatically accessing the new element BMW also. Okay, so this is the very basic description of arrays in JavaScript, and if you still have any query, then you can ask in our comment section, and to support us, kindly subscribe our channel. Thank you so much.